Alrighty then, do we have signs of life? 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 Alrighty then, enough lollygagging from me. Let's jump straight into it. Alrighty then, enough lollygagging from me. Let's jump straight into it. So, we're playing visual novel I Wanna Hug That Gator, or Wanna, I don't know. Not smart enough to figure that out. The situation is... there it goes. The situation is, I am... used to stream on Twitch, and I've been having some significant internet issues recently. One of the things I've found is that the bitrate minimums for YouTube are a little bit less than the ones for Twitch, so maybe, fingers and toes and other appendages crossed and whatnot, I can have a stable stream with my current upload speeds under those conditions. So this is a bit of a test. We're legitimately playing the game, but it's also a bit of a test at the same time. So we're going to jump straight in. Okay, so story so far. What even is this? It's essentially a visual novel about a titular gator and our plucky protagonist Inko, who's a human, attending his last year of high school in a anthropomorphized dinosaur school. There's a lot more to it than that. It's a surprisingly good story, actually. It has a really good soundtrack as well, so I highly recommend giving this a play and also listening to the soundtrack on YouTube as well. Definitely well worth a listen. We're heading for... I should probably say this off ahead of time. So I finished this game once before, off stream. There are 4 endings. Ending 1 is the worst, ending 2 is a little bit better, ending 3 is okay, ending 4 is the good one. When I finished it the first time I got ending 3, and now I'm using a guide to get myself through to ending 4, because I really want to see that. I know what ending 4 is already, but I want to experience it, because I enjoy this little game. Anyways, enough waffling on. Let's jump straight into the... well, the game, I should say. I think this is it. It's been a week. It's been about a week since the typhoon. The days after were surreal with just how things realigned with the old schedule. Latican was serious when he told Olivia to keep off that wrist. He effectively banned her from painting until it got better. Meaning all week I've been doing our work as a group. It was exhausting. But today, I'm pretty excited. For the first time, Olivia is actually joining me on the metro. We're headed for the city. It's going to be a bit of a trip. For the last several nights, Olivia has been using my inbox to store sketching ideas while her wrist heals. On Thursday, she even attempted sending a few left-hand sketches, but gave up after a third or fourth malformed rat. Hang on. Yeah, I think that needs to be brought down just a wee bit. Because that's okay. I'm being overly pedantic for no reason. Liz sent a game-changing invitation through our group chat. Her uncle has some business in the city and he told her she can go do something with the time since it's her car. So she's invited the rest of us to join her for lunch at a fancy place. It's got us pretty thrilled. It's got me pretty thrilled. Olivia understood the order to stay off her hand, but that doesn't make her less manic about wanting to get back into painting. Why'd you agree if you don't want to go? Well, a trip to the city wouldn't suck so bad if you're there. Even if I really, really want to start painting. You're almost done healing. It won't be much longer, I know it. Latican said you should at least wait for Monday. Yeah, that too. Besides, I don't want to be around Damien while he's... Ugh. Old guy looked positively miserable when I picked Olivia up. He was pale and shaking, and the floor between his feet was left bubbling after a particularly powerful sneeze. Has it ever been that bad? Happens like once a year. It's one reason we don't share a room. One moment he's fine, the next he's inebriated. This car is weird. You ride this every day? Yep, this is even my seat. Right next to the folding accessibility seat. What, did you start accounting for me before we'd even met? Maybe I did. She mouths something and rolls her eyes, but there's a clear smile after she goes back to watching the passing buildings. Compared to a car ride together, this felt a little more intimate. Even if there are more people in close proximity, none of them paid us any mind. Just Olivia and I. Several stations later, the metro grinds to a halt at our stop. Alright, you ready? Yeah. Olivia shoos my hand away when I go to help her out the metro. We step out into the chilled air of the city. I'm already getting goosebumps. That cold front is really making itself known. We should find Liz quickly before Olivia starts shivering. Are you seeing a long, big green neck anywhere? One that I know of. Great. That sounds awesome. We looked around through the alleyway into the closest shops. Maybe she's in the bathroom. I'd wait around, but I don't want to make Olivia wait out in the cold. Did we go to the wrong stop? Just text her already. Crap. Right, I'm dumb. Hey. What the hey? Where'd you go? A moment later, her head ropes out the door of a nearby coffee shop, followed by the rest of her. Hey, Inko. Glad you guys could make it. She looks so much fun. I like her character. Yeah, I just got confused. Didn't know you'd be in the cafe there. Really? I've been in there the whole time. I messaged Amy and I went in to escape the cold and... Where's Damien? Oh man, he got nasty sick right before we left. He couldn't make it. But is he fine? He'll be fine, I think. Okay, alright. Well, that just throws a wrench in all my plans now, doesn't it? I think she has a bit of a crush. We can still have fun without him, right? Yeah, I know, it was just, well, I was hoping between the four of us, it'd be like a double date. Look at that face, I love it. Huh? Yeah, Damien and me, you and Inko, all together for a fancy lunch. Liz, Livia and I aren't... Oh. I'm sorry, I just assumed. Boy, this is embarrassing. All day seems like everything's going wrong for me. It's fine. Yeah, well, we can still have a good time. I'm still having lunch with friends. I'm sure you guys will love it too. Come on. I can't even imagine what that would be like having a Brontosaurus or Brachiosaurus for a friend with that long neck. Literally just the head sort of cranes in like one of the TV cameras. If you see any of the behind the scenes footage of when they're shooting movies, you just see like the big crane with the camera leaning in, except it's a dinosaur head that talks to you. And then a few seconds later the body just walks up and you can see the neck. You know there is a head, but it doesn't look like there's a head, so you're just like, wait, what the heck? It's crazy, I tell ya. Liz leads us through the streets, pointing out our destination when it comes into view through the towering skyscrapers. The building is more akin to a narrow spike aimed skyward with a large disc-like room built near the tip. Just the tip. And you see that space near the top? It's our restaurant. They built it in a way that the whole thing slowly rotates, so your view changes while you eat. You can see the whole city, the ocean, even the mountains. Whoa. Wait, where's she going? I've gone here with my parents all the time as a kid, and I always daydreamed about bringing friends and important guests there and... well, you know, business type stuff. This will be my first time on my own. Well, you know. Yeah. You'll see, there's even a... oh, hold it. We lost Livia. We turn around to check on our errant gator friend. There's the stream warning. Fun times. I have to check the VOD later and see how bad that actually was, if it's actually a showstopper. That's part of the reason I chose a visual novel, because it doesn't have high FPS. Anyways, back to it. We turn around to check on our errant gator friend, who is a bit further behind and grimacing. She comes slowly rolling in, fighting to hide the slight wince every time she pushes herself. Oh, sorry. It's fine. You sure you don't want to help? I can manage on my own, please. Alright, you want to lead the way? Alright, it's that Space Needle looking place, right? She rolls ahead. Liz and I follow behind, continuing our conversation. The restaurant is an impressive spire with the actual seating area 30 floors or so up. After Liz verifies her reservation, we're led into a special elevator with a glass front. After a minute or so of rising above the city, we stop and the doors slide open to reveal the restaurant. It's a circular room with the seating by the windows and an inner ring for bars and the kitchen making up the centre. Definitely a carefully crafted place. I wonder if it'd be the kind of place my parents would bring me to. A waitress greets us and leads us to a table by the windows. One of the seats closest to the window is moved so Olivia's wheelchair can fit by the table. She approaches the space and stops. She's looking down out the window. We switch seats. Afraid of heights? Hey, what are you grinning for, buddy? Shut. Alright. I oblige, shifting the seat over so that she sits instead by the aisle. Good man. Quite a view, huh? I can see why it'd make you squeamish, Olivia. Heights also scare the living daylights out of me. What? Are you afraid of heights, Liz? Well, yeah, isn't everyone? That doesn't make any goddamn sense, Liz. Your head hangs 3 stories above your shoulders and heights scare you? Look, acrophobia is the irrational fear of heights, okay? So of course it doesn't make sense, but still. That is a surprisingly understandable point, actually. That, whatever, heights suck. We agree on that at least. So, what do you think? It's very nice. I can see why you wanted to come here. Liz nods. Family usually comes here once a year. Uncle Ferris has to remember to bring along a letter from the owner saying he's fine to let in, that he won't bring the whole tower down. Her uncle's a anthropomorphized whale, literally, so... What the hell is bisque? Libby's looking into the menus. Right, we're here to eat. Lobster bisque? It's lobster tail and a creamy kind of soup. I didn't even know that. Then why not call it lobster soup? Bisque is a stupid word. I looked down at the menu myself. There's all your standard options between pasta, sandwiches, cuts of meat. Some weird novelty things, but I actually like trying those. I guess I'll have... Oop. Alright, so, like I said at the beginning, we're looking to get ending 4, and there's a point system behind the choices. Some choices mean nothing, some choices give you a point, and then the higher the points, the higher... Like, you'll eventually get a certain ending. So I'm going to briefly hide my screen, I'm going to check the guide, and we're going to see what we should be selecting for this next couple of dialogue choices. I've finished the game blind, and got ending 3. I want ending 4 this time, so... Let's chuck that up. Let's go here, let's go guides. The guide is on Steam, by the by. Excuse me. So there's 19 chapters in this game. You don't actually see the chapters on screen, it's just that's how they've broken it up. We're on chapter 13. So we're near the end. Okay. Gotcha. Alright. Bring up the game again. Apparently this choice doesn't affect the ending or give us points, so... Double tropical cheeseburger with pineapple sauce, chicken pizza. Chicken is in the crust. That's bizarre. Entire leg of cow. Walkandera kebab. Well, we're here to be fancy, and we're not exactly paying, so... We'll go double tropical cheeseburger with pineapple sauce. It sounds fancy. You sure? With onion rings. If you want it, I'm buying. They serve breakfast all day too. I'm going with their pancake platter. Oh, good choice. Liz waves a waitress over and we give our orders. Nostalgia pick? You got me, it takes me way back. She stares out the window. I look out at the horizon as well. View has shifted a bit. To show the mountains. We'll look out for a long while. Maybe a little too long. Ordinarily this would be around the time Damien would say something that kept the conversation going. Oh right, he's usually the one bringing us all together. Yeah, it is strange to think about, but Liz and Olivia aren't really more than acquaintances. But during lunch, it's Damien that always makes sure that everyone else is included in the conversation. He's the glue at dinner, so to speak. Nothing comes to mind. I don't think I'd make a good Damien. One moment, please. I ring Damien up in the hallway. He's sick, yes, but hopefully he'll have something for me to use. If he picks up. Please. Hello? Vinny, I want to talk to Damien. Nah, he's out right now. Mom's with him in the backyard. He's puking his guts up into a bucket. I mean, that's one way to do it. Why? Pest control guy buys us for... What? Pest control guys buy it from us for $50. Gross. What do you want him for? I can tell him when he comes back in. Why not? I wanted to know how he always keeps our friend group so lively. Like, I was considering small talk, just bring up movies or something. Ew, no, movies suck. No one actually likes them. What? I'm playing Fortnite. I'll turn it down so you can hear me. I heard what you said. It was just dumb. Was it? Yeah. There's a pause for a moment. Movies always sucked. Like, they started in black and white without sound and they never really got better. Even when they peaked in the 70s, they only barely became watchable. Have you ever even watched The Godfather? They had me watch that stuff and it just sucked. Damn, he's brutal. No, you probably just didn't get it. Dad explained the whole plot to me, ins and outs, and it really was just mid-trash. That movie won awards, you can't just call it trash. Yeah, I can. Movies are just a trash genre of content. Even the best ones are usually just polished turds that waste your time. Ooh. Okay then, what's a good movie? Ever heard of Mr. Beast? How about Storytime Animations? Is this what the young'uns say this day and age? Oh god. Oh, you've got to be... I love that face. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I'm not. Any popular content on Usenet provides more value for your time than the classics that you old people fawn over, and it still sucks. Those aren't even movies. Actually, I wonder if Mr. Beast would ever make an actual just movie. For the hell of it. They move and I watch them. Not my point, you troglodyte. As if you could ever even think of comparing that slop to the like of Star Wars, good call. The Godfather, good call. Blade Runner 2049, very good call. Movies are one massive pile of doo-doo fart, but even it can sometimes make something mediocre. Those are billion-dollar franchises. Millions of people disagree with this deranged nonsense. Doo-doo fart. Oh my god, you little... Listen, you little chump. Next time I see you, I'm going to wring your little neck like a wash rag. What? Who is this? Shit. Calm down, kill him later. So I didn't get the advice. So that woman there was Vinny's mother, Damien's mother. Oh, that would be an awkward situation. Because he goes over to their house as well, so you can just imagine a time where she's like, oh yes, I remember a time when someone was yelling at my son, and she goes, hang on a second, Inko, your voice sounds very familiar for some reason. I sulk back to my seat and slump down, catching my breath. Whoa, you're right, your eye is twitching. I don't think I've ever been more angry in my life. What happened? I don't want to talk about it. I would have liked if they had the, like, that expression from a moment ago. You see his eyes and the angry eyebrows. That just looks cooler to me. Fine, I can be a good Damien all by myself. So, Liz. Yeah? You mentioned when we first met you wanted to be an art dealer. Getting the right people to the right paintings, right? How's that going? Oh yeah, it's going great. I just got accepted to Marshland U, actually. Oh, snap. Yeah, I finally got everything all worked out for myself. I'm going to hit the ground running once I graduate. That's pretty cool. I'm still figuring things out. You too, right, Olivia? And they got short-term goals right now. But I'm interested in what Liz was talking about. Alright, we've got some choices coming up in a moment. So that choice didn't matter. This next one will, so we'll have 2 saves ready just in case we need them. Right, I'm sure it wouldn't be a problem for Olivia to replace the stolen painting. But what was annoying was having to contact the Treasury and Administration about the broken cabinet. I mean, what even happened? Whoever did it, I wish they could have dealt with Mrs. Scaler's neurotic tantrum the way I did. We're still finding glass shards all over the floor, and I get screamed at as if I'm the one responsible for it. Scaler needs to put the coffee mug down sometimes. Jeez. It's not a problem anymore. We've already ordered a new display. It should be installed next month. Oh, I got off track. What were we talking about again? The art dealing thing. I'm actually interested. Oh, well, the plan is to be able to open my own business. I'll start online and work my way up to having a physical location. Uncle Ferris told me he's willing to help me figure the legal part out. I've already gotten a few connections, some people that might be interested in being involved that run some pretty decent prices. For me, I mean. And I'll be selling my own works too. I've gotten even better at painting since the start of the year. Have you noticed? I think you have, yeah. Although since I'm no artist, I'll admit some of the details are probably lost on me. Liz nods. Maybe I'll buy one sometimes. You'll give me a discount, right? Maybe. Olivia, have you painted anything good recently? No. You still got carpal tunnel in her wrists. Oh, sorry. It's fine. Well, I got one I really want to be doing. Why don't you? Because I got dragged here instead. Olivia. I mean, not that I'm mad. Liz looks like she wants to say something. The thought dies on her tongue. Yeah, Damien really is the glue of this group. Without him, things don't go so well. Conversation and the tension, thankfully, gets interrupted as our food arrives. The social media influencer in me itches to take a photo of each plate, especially with how good the presentation is. I should have brought my camera along with me. Wait, I have my phone. Say, Olivia. I turn just in time to see her clamp her jaw on the hunk of meat, tearing it right off the bone. I mean, she is a carnivore, so that makes sense. Never mind. How's it taste? She takes a moment to chew her food before sending it down the hatch, then smiling as she gives me a greasy thumbs up. Liz chuckles from Olivia's good review as she lowers her head to get the first bite of her pancakes. Given that her neck is making movements equivalent to doing the happy dance, I'm guessing the pancakes are good here. My view had changed again, and now having noticed it, I can almost feel the slow rotation of the room. I savour my onion rings while watching Volcandera bluffs pan right by us, taking in the amazing view. My thoughts reach out for the camera, already calculating the restaurant's rotation with the proper settings to capture the full 360 panorama I could achieve. And a separate section of my mind recalls the other panoramic of the city I saw. The one that is now nothing more but shredded debris. Say, Liz. Brachiosaurus takes a moment to respond as she attempts to cram her snout into the glass of water. Glass, no straw. Yeah. So, you mentioned all about wanting to be an art dealer and be a part of that system. I guess it could be cool if we worked together. Again? I don't know, just seemed like a decent idea. No, I get you. Now it's Liz's turn to pause from her food, sit upright and carefully tap the napkin on her closed lips. Maybe, but I don't think you'd want that, honestly. No, that'd be cool, I'd like that. Oh. Yeah, maybe, I'm not sure. Not sure? Yeah, I'm trying to get this whole thing off the ground on my own. That does help, right? Like how you feel about your art stuff. I can respect that, actually. And mixing friends and money is never a good idea. Usually ends poorly, I would say. That's just my opinion. Okay. So we just did a quick save there, so we've got our progress if we need to revert back because I make a wrong decision because there's a couple of choices coming up. Oops. That's different. Point is, it's important to me that my start is as self-sustaining as possible. You just said you had connections and your uncle. Olivia raises that iconic eyebrow. Friends? Or is it just me? Olivia, don't even start to make a scene. I have to do something. Olivia, Liz, come on guys, can we finish lunch first? I'm making a scene, Liz. Well, not like this then. I'd rather you go back to give me the silent treatment. Oh no. Oh no, what have I done? What's your deal? Damien and Inko want us to be friends. Here I am actually trying, and what am I not worthy enough for you stuck up? Oh. You didn't want my friendship before, or Damien's, to be friends now because you can get something out of it. I want to be friends, it's just not like that. I thought things would finally start getting good. Olivia, there's lots of people less fortunate than you. You have the support of your friends, all the offers. You can't blame me if you just ignore both. Liz, let me finish, please. I'm not mad. I envy you. I admit it. Anyone would effortlessly getting that attention. Hate it. I know, and I know it's wrong, but that's what I've been thinking for a while. I see all these things you have available to you all these years, and you just take them for granted, for a way to live. Look, sorry, I appreciate you guys. After telling me to my face how my expense? You know what, Olivia? This is the most nice I can do for you at the moment, because you... Liz. Liz claps her hand over her mouth. Olivia doesn't respond. She looks down at her plate. I'm going to use the bathroom. She pushes herself away from the table and through the aisle. Oh no. I didn't mean to snap. It's alright. Once Olivia gets... No, I don't think I can. Oh, criminy. Here come those internet issues again. So frustrating. After everything, I think I deserve that much. But God, the brief was just to get these two talking and have a good time. It's like a grenade was thrown to the table. Wow, I'm a fucking terrible Damien. Let me... Is? Yeah? Why didn't it work? I know you two aren't on the greatest terms, so I tried to keep the conversation going. So it wouldn't get awkward and nobody would get left out like Damien does. I feel like this was somehow my fault. How? Ugh, we're on like 3 FPS. In that case, bang. And bang. Quick. Let's see if that does anything. Supposed to. I don't think he did anything wrong. This has never happened around Damien. Good question. I don't know. Liz picks at her plate, popping the yolk on her over-easy egg. She's probably not in the mood if I pushed any further and I said anything I want to say right now. Olivia wouldn't like me prodding either now. I try to think of something to do, but nothing. I can't think of doing anything at all. Not without making someone uncomfortable or worse, getting them mad at me. And I've never even anticipated something like this happening. It's frustrating. Can't do anything, but I can't do nothing, obviously. Not if I want to smooth things over. Right now, Lily's in the bathroom, but the point is the two are separated. I can work something out. Should I keep trying then? I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. I think I'd rather you didn't. Alright, I think we've got a couple of choices coming up in just a second. Okay, let me just check the guide real quick. I think it's option 3 that we need to do, but let me just have a quick look. Okay, got it. A heavy breath escapes me as I stand from my chair. If you'll excuse me, Liz. Her head tilts comically further than needed in question. Just want to check on Olivia. Oh. She waves me off as I turn away. Making my way through the restaurant, a part of me marvels at how I didn't even feel the room spin. Kinda makes me dizzy, honestly. But it's just mental busy work to distract myself. After all, I've no idea what I'm going to say to Olivia. Hey, should I ask her how she is? Inko? I'm on the spot now. Hey, just came to see how you were doing. I thought I had more time to think about things. Instead of being by the restrooms, Olivia was... Why are you here by the bar? To see if they give me a mimosa. What? Mimosa. You know, like OJ and champagne. Olivia, you can't drink. Says you. Oh, she be drinking. She takes a long sip from a glass flute filled with orange liquid. I make to slap it over her hand, but her tail stops me. I'm joking, jeez. It's like you, Inko. A virgin. She grins at my scowl and continues sipping on her drink. Want some? She holds out the glass to me with that smug smile of hers. Taking the flute, I can clearly see where her lips had touched it. Olivia looks to be leaning forward as I stare at the glass. I think our bandwidth's improved, so what I might do is I'm going to pop that. I'm going to bring that back. Oh no, I have to reset the tracking. There's no point, actually. So we'll get rid of that and we'll leave the monolith for now. Ignoring the heat of my cheeks, I tip the glass above me, carefully pouring some of the liquid into my throat. Wait, you skipped the indirect kiss? Oh. This is just juice and ginger ale, Olivia. Handing her back the glass for a split second, I thought I saw some disappointment in her eyes. Maybe I'm just seeing things now. Oh, I don't think so, buddy. With a shake of my head, I refocus. I came to check on Olivia and fix things between her and Liz. You okay, Olivia? Yeah, totally. Why wouldn't I be? Her eyes are wide open and yet not looking my way. Because of what Liz said. Oh. She sags in her chair. Olivia? No, yeah, that was... Her finger circles the lip of her glass as she thinks. I'm not hurt, just frustrated. She looks at her glass one final time and then downs the last quarter of it in a single swallow. Afterwards, Olivia sets it on the bar on top of a couple of crumpled dollar bills. I mean, Liz doesn't get it, Inko. Maybe if she walked a mile in my shoes, she would, but... I hate to see you guys go at it like that. Yeah. Maybe it's been a long time coming for me, but who cares? A long time coming? I know she's been a bit frustrated for a while. Probably been holding that in. Doesn't mean I want to hear it, though. All the time I've known her, she's just been so far ahead of me. You hear her yap about how her art's getting better, but how many connections she has and how it'll get her $1 billion or whatever. I'm the better artist, but I don't even know how to start getting my crap together like that. I look at the chasm between us and it fills me with dread. It's just jealousy, I know it. It's just been getting worse every time she mentions getting further in life while I can't even convince myself to try. It's actually getting her upset at me over this specifically. I just mentioned being someone she'd consider a real acquaintance and she just blows up like that. You want to talk about it? No. You sure? Is that what you wanted to see me about? Partially. The other part is that I'm a bit confused. I wasn't expecting things to go the way they did. So I came to see you to ask for help to make this right. Uh-huh. Well, I'm not apologizing if that's what you mean. Now I need to check the choice again real quick. Just save that. Choice here is ask for help. Hang on. Okay, let's pop that back in. Then ask Olivia for help. How does she know how to deal with others? Deal with avoiding upsetting others? No, that's not it. Rubbing my scalp to help my thoughts flow, I just let my words come out unfiltered. I'm seriously here, Olivia. I need some help. I have her full attention now. My words just keep coming. I feel like I did everything right, but it went wrong. You and Liz got into an argument, and though it wasn't heated, you got hurt. It scares me. For a brief moment, Olivia's grey eyes widen in surprise. I have a few ideas on what to do, but nothing that won't make someone upset. Or worse, get them mad at me. I mean, I get it, but sometimes you do have to be the one to say the thing that will annoy people and get them angry. It's unpleasant, but if it gets you past it and gets you towards a better ending, then you may not have a choice, unfortunately. Why do you care about our opinions so much? Because you're my friends? I want us all to get along and enjoy that lunch we got invited to. But I don't know how to fix it. The only things I can think of will just probably make you guys upset with me. That's why I'm asking you. Me? You're, self-reliant. You're strong in your stance to never accept help on account of your condition. For the longest time, that confused me. Well, it still does, but you do it. It confuses you? Well, it's like others are willing to give, and giving feels good. So when you deny it, it's like telling them those thoughts don't matter. Oh, that's actually... I didn't think of it that way. One way to put it. That's the part I don't get. Even though everyone stands to gain something, for the sake of your goals you don't accept. You take the hard road. Saying it out loud, I like it. I'm willing to give it a shot. I don't know how. What do you do when there's no good option? Wow. Well, thanks, I guess. I'll put it this way. It'd make an alcoholic happy to give him alcohol even though it hurts him. But sending him to rehab, that's painful. It's not a happy journey to make. But it's good for him. There you go. That's what I was getting at. Absolutely, that's my point. Don't worry about making others comfortable and happy if something needs getting done. In my case, that means ignoring the help because my own goals need to be done. If that makes someone uncomfortable, then it's their problem, not mine. I can respect that. When something needs doing, you just gotta do it. When no option seems like it'll make people happy, well, you do what you can. That makes sense. I'm making this up as I go along. I think so, yeah. If it's the right thing, you'll get the support you need. After all, I got you. And even if you don't, standing alone for your standards is cool. You'd be trying, and that's what matters. Yeah. Thanks, Olivia. Hey, you're welcome. Saying all that out loud has helped me understand a few things too. You ready to head back? I have an idea how to smooth everything over. Sure. I'm curious what you have in mind. Even if you think I won't like it. Let's save real quick. Yep. Start heading back to the table. Olivia follows close behind me. Hey, you guys are back. Everything good? All cooled off? Yeah, everything's great. I want to give my 2 cents. Try to resolve everything. Yep. Let me just save real quick. I'm pretty sure it's the last one. Both of you are wrong. But let me just check the guide again because I don't want to have to redo a lot of this. The guide says... Yep, both of you are wrong. So that's the way we go next. No, I never would have normally picked that one. I probably would have been on the fence and just gone, I can't decide who's right, you're both my friends. But in hindsight, both of you are wrong. Let's do it. I take a deep breath. I don't really want to have to do this. Olivia watches carefully. She's talked me through this. I can do it. She won't stop being my friend over this. Get over yourself, Inko. Just say what needs to be said. I think you're both acting silly. Really? Both of us? I didn't know that trying to get you guys conversing would make these sour feelings come up. And that was my mistake. My bad. But it's just ridiculous. Ooh, she's grinning. Liz, I get Olivia was a shut-in and didn't open up to you back then, but that's clearly not the case anymore, is it? That was a question? No, I guess not. Then what use is holding a grudge? Accomplishing your goals on your own is fine. That's your prerogative. But when you say Olivia is just treating you differently because she has something to gain, you know that's not right. Olivia, I hate to say this, but you have been pretty thoughtless here as well. Liz is trying to do something nice for us, and hey, we all got to have a nice dinner in this crazy place. But when you say you'd rather be at home painting, it's not just insulting Liz. It tells me you'd rather not be here with me as well. I love how much you've opened up to us, Olivia. What seems to me is that both of you just refuse to see eye to eye. Too much pride going on. The sooner we stop trying to get the other to act the way we think they should, the better. And I thank you for your advice. I hope you won't be mad at me for saying this. Just please, be a little bit more considerate. That's it. Again, sorry if I went too far. You're right. That's a little eloquent for such a little argument. Well, it was bothering me. And it would have turned to something more given time. That's true. It would have festered. Alright, that's fair. I appreciate the effort. That's what you had in mind when you asked for advice? Yeah. I figured it'd be something a lot worse. Like the roast of the century you've been holding it against us. But if that's it, that's also decent. You're usually pretty thoughtful, so I guess I can see how that was a lot for you. We're nearly adults. That's not going to bother us. At least it shouldn't. So, are you good? Yeah. Thanks, Inko. Thanks. Happy ending. Fantastic. That went much better than expected. Alright, let me just save that. After things settled down, we finished off our meals. Well, Olivia finished our meals. Liz had noticed at first when one of her whole pancakes simply vanished. And I thought my onion ring pile was looking smaller by the minute. Looking Olivia's way, she simply waved at us with the most bizarre concoction of onion rings, flapjacks, syrup, and beef on her plate. That sounds like a good breakfast, actually. What? I'll make you guys better food than this later. The theft of our food stopped shortly after that, and though the portions had diminished, we were all thoroughly satisfied with our meal. I offered to pay, or at least pitch in with a check, but Liz refused. She insisted since it was her idea to begin with. But I'd always figured it was the man's place to pay for a date, and this was a date. Kinda. Neither of our hands lifted from the tiny leather booklet, and I don't know how long we spent playing tug of war over it. Olivia at least found it amusing, even recording our stare down on our phone. But victory was mine as I managed to palm my debit card to the waitress before Liz could give her back the bill booklet. Well played, Inko. Well played. With that done, all that was left for us was making the most of the view. Olivia led the way to the observation deck on the floor beneath the restaurant. And she immediately regretted it, as the blast of cold air even had me shiver a bit. The altitude plus the late fall weather meant the deck was mostly clear of guests. But the view was easily worth the cold, as I made a mental note to come back here one day with my DSLR. We slowly moved to the railing so we can fully take in the skyline, from the bluffs out towards the ocean, along with the city's skyscrapers that were dwarfed by this spire. As I scanned over it, I doubled down on the mental note, because seeing Olivia silhouetted by this beautiful view is... I don't understand how you two can stand that temperature. Liz didn't look all that cold. All she's doing is rubbing her arms in a theatrical manner. I'm gonna be by the elevator, guys, okay? What a good wingman. Her head moves next to Olivia, and there's hushed whispers shared between them. Finally, Liz's body turns and leaves, her head following shortly after with a beaming smile. Olivia? Don't ask. Her eyes remain on the horizon. Maybe it is a little cool though, as Olivia's face is slowly turning red. Oh dear, what kind of advice did she give her? Something up? Well... Her eyes trail down and her hands raise up until she's carefully examining her wrists. As I watch as she carefully tests her hands, wincing occasionally as she slowly flexes and rotates her hands. About the painting. Not until you're better. I know, I've been thinking about it. I'm gonna be way out of practice when I'm all better. So you're going to practice? She smiles as she turns to me, probably excited about the prospect of starting work on that soon. Yes, I have the mental image for it in my mind and everything. The smile lessens though, and her tone becomes uneasy. I just want to make it perfect. I have the mental image, but I won't have the skill. Plus, between the carpal tunnel and rushing out all those pieces for Mia, I think I understand what she's getting at, but the smile is back again. Once I can paint again, I need time for practice. I want to show Mr. Latican the greatest piece I can create. Do you need anything? My words cut my thoughts off. No, I have all the paint and... No, I mean, do you need any help? Where do you practice? Her face glows red again. Maybe. Well, I don't know how much help I can be, but... I don't know how much help I can be with my complete lack of painting talent. But otherwise, yeah, I'll do whatever I can for you, Olivia. I promise. I cement it with a smile and a thumbs up. Thanks. I think we only stood out on the viewing deck for a few minutes. After a particularly cold draft had swept over us, Olivia figured she'd had enough of the chilly air up here. We made our way back inside to the elevator station where Liz was standing idly. Standing idly? What am I even saying? She and Olivia looked at each other for a moment. The two held their stare, locked in on each other for about half a minute before Olivia looked to one side. So, what else is there to do here? A lot, evidently. Once we had gotten back to terra firma, Liz had taken it upon herself to walk us around the entire block. The whole area was like a miniature theme park with a lot of street vendors selling tourist trap gifts. We spent the rest of the day just wandering the city park here, enjoying the late full day the best we could. Eventually, as the sun sunk below the horizon, Mr. Ferris found us. I had forgotten that we'd come here in the first place because of a business meeting of his. Liz and him waved us goodbye as they broke away and headed for the parking lot, while I pushed a very tired gator girl to the metro station. I don't think she minded much, honestly, as she clutched her tail to her chest and used it like a makeshift pillow. She looked so sweet like that. It was the perfect background for my phone. She must never learn of this, though. Because I don't think I'd survive. Oh, she will find out. She will find out, trust me. They always do. But it'd be worth it. After going home that night, Olivia texted me all night and well into the morning. We ended up talking about all sorts of things. Mia, our art, various shows, just about everything. Never seen her that excited before. For someone with sore hands, she sure types fast. And for someone that doesn't like talking at all, she sure types a lot. I certainly can't keep up. And when she didn't want to talk, she sent more doodles and sketches. Sleep wasn't really an option on my end either. And Gut's doodle ventures were quite entertaining to read. Since then, we've been texting more every night. Not as much, since I do need my sleep. Right now, I'm just waiting for art class to end. Mr. Triggums is apparently one of those substitutes that demands complete silence until class is over, but doesn't care beyond that. So even though I'm sitting about 2 feet away from Olivia, we're having to text each other. She's quite the storyteller with these doodles. Like right now, as I try to keep up with the tale of Guts writing a... What's he writing again? He's parting the main golem from the Gundam fin. A giant robot from one of those shows she's been wanting us to watch together. I mean, we would. I totally want to. Just Olivia and I sitting side by side on my couch. Maybe as we're getting tired, we start leaning against each other. Ooh. I get even offered to keep her... Oh. Oops. Catching my phone on the precipice of my desk, I see that Olivia had sent an even more detailed version of the previous Guts drawing. And this is why, for how dumb as it is, Finn is still fun to watch. I don't get it. Little do I, for that matter. Is that a detonator he's holding? You almost didn't get your phone just now. Hey. If you'd watch it, you would. She really wants us watching Gundam. Fair enough. One day, maybe. What is that profile picture? That's what I want to know. Only if it's with her. One day, yes. Oh, I see some chemistry, and I like it. Oh, crap, teacher. Don't want to lose my phone. Okay. After a couple of minutes without any alerts, I accept that the Gator Girl really is done for now. With a quick look at the clock on the wall, I figure I've got a few more minutes before I absolutely must hide my own phone. Latikin's been out for about a week and a half, so we've been stuck with Mr. Triggums. Apparently he doesn't like electives. I swipe back, looking through the pieces she sent me over the last couple of hours. A lot of the references go over my head, but the few that don't earn a hearty chuckle from me. Then there's the more detailed ones, the drawings that'd be good enough to actually render. I smile as I save those. I've been meaning to ask if she'd finish one, back when she started doing this, but I never got around to it, simply saving it in a folder. A folder that's grown to a couple of dozen now. Would Jerome Clarkson please come to the office? Would Jerome Clarkson please come to the office? Thank you. The announcement makes me nearly drop my phone again. They'd been going on all morning, just calling random students to the office. A buzz from my phone has me check it again to see another message from the Gator Girl. Never mind. Teacher's acting weird today. Weird? I look at our substitute. Mr. Triggums isn't paying any attention to us. In fact, he's just kinda looking through the desk he sat at. Weird. Before. For someone with sore hands, she sure types fast. Same here. Think it has to do with the office thing? I don't know. Was thinking it was the short day, maybe. That was another thing. I think the entire class realized something was up with how fast class periods were going today. Oof. Man down. I think his phone just broke. Aw, man. I look at my phone on the floor, the corner of the screen chipped away. Picking it back up before any of my classmates can step on it on their way out to lunch, I just noticed that Ben wasn't here for class either. Oof, look at his phone. I'm probably going to trigger a few people by saying this, but I've never broken a phone. I've never broken the screen of a phone to the extent we see here. What normally happens is I get a phone, and I'm on Team Android for now, and I'm there purely because it meets my requirements as opposed to an iPhone. Don't care about the brands. I keep a phone for 2 to 3 years until eventually I find that I'd like an upgrade because of some hardware or spec change that's actually meaningful. I think the longest I've kept a phone is 5 years. And then the only reason I had upgraded that one was because there was some version change to the Google Play Store and I couldn't download apps at all with that phone, which was bizarre to me. But nowadays I don't use the Google Play Store anymore. So, bit of a tangent there. But anyways, hurry up, short day means lunch is earlier. Heading to lunch, I realize I'm actually not that hungry. Strange, but I guess it's an internal clock thing. I'm just so used to eating at the same time every day. Looks like I'm not the only one, as the usual war zone in the cafeteria has expanded to spill into the surrounding hallways. It's loud enough to even cover up the continued announcements. Urkel, thank you. Mostly. I've gotten pretty good at weaving through the chaos relatively unscathed, but man, these guys have way too much energy. What are they even fighting about? But as always, the table in the back is left alone. Damien is chattering loudly about his day so far to Olivia, who's occasionally poking Liz across the table with a toy claw in hand. Liz flails her arms to shoo away the offending poke, but never bothers to crane her neck down from the rafters. She perks up when she sees me. Yo, it's Inko! Hey, what's going on at Olive Gardens today? Whack his noggin. The meter stick falls on my head. Ah! Is this a joke? Quip! How long did it take you to come up with that one? It was about 2 in the morning last night. Whack him again. Hey! Best $10 I've ever spent. It looks a little familiar, doesn't it? Yeah, that's what I thought when I saw it. Just like the real one. She'd bully you for saying dumb stuff. Bite me. That was a poor choice of words. She actually can now. She makes the head gnaw on my face a little. Hehe. I'll go sit somewhere else. Do it. I got a new friend right here. Oh wow, I have an actual friend that isn't addicted to makeup pheromones. That makes me so happy. Your ventriloquism needs a bit of work. I still think it's a little weird. Oh, live a little. She's really opened up as a character. I like that. Say, you guys aren't eating either? It's too early, I'll just eat when I get home. Excuse me. It's not even that late, but I got like no sleep last night. I was up until about 2:30 AM because someone was debuting over on Twitch. I had to show some support. That means that I got no sleep yesterday, and I've been working today, so very little sleep today. Which means I do need to go to bed soon, and actually have a proper sleep, otherwise I'll be wrecked tomorrow as well. Fun times. I know what happens next, so we'll keep going in the story until a certain point passes. And that'll make a good stopping point. Well, that was ominous now I think about it, but yeah. Let's just say those announcements that you've been seeing in game mean something. The lunch ladies don't really try on half days. Don't they not try normally? The difference makes itself known. I was out for like a week. I'm just gonna go steal some of whatever Olivia makes later. Get your own. I've changed my mind. She has too much power. This is great. Olivia reaches over to gnaw on Damien again, and I snatch it out of the air. No! Aim to hitch it right onto Olivia's snout. Bullseye, it's clamped shut. The evil is defeated. While I'm giggling like a schoolgirl, Olivia uses the chance to grab the hand back. Fine, no more claw today. She hastily stuffs the plastic toy in her backpack. After some more small talk, Damien's attention wanders towards Liz, who seems to be lost in thought. Hey, Liz, what's in your head? Huh? Oh, I was just thinking about earlier today. I was talking to Principal Scalar this morning. We're running some errands for Stuco, and she was really out of it. Out of it? Yeah, like she didn't want to be here today. I tried to pry, but she clammed up. I've never seen her like that before. She must have drank bad coffee or something. I don't think that makes people sad. You'd be surprised. I can tell you from experience, it just makes you really have to... Looks like I got a text. Liz pulls out her phone, craning her head down to get a better look at the screen. It's from Ben. Having a student council meeting. Huh? Normally it's a bit more formal than that. I guess it's a half day and all. Oh well, duty calls. Sorry for having to leave early, guys. No worries, Liz. We can meet up after school. Sounds good. I'll see you all later then. What do you guys want to do after school? I don't know, maybe we can hang out at my place. Too cold to get in the pool, but I'm sure we can think of something. I look over to Olivia, who doesn't seem to have any objections to the idea, but no input of her own. Got any ideas, Liv? We could doodle some stuff. Like charades? Yeah, make it into a game of sorts. That sounds pretty fun, actually. Then I can really wipe the floor with Olivia. Oh, save your breath, Nido. You know my stuff will own you and your chicken scratch. Want to bet? Huh, that's a sucker bet. Alright then, loser has to pay for food. Deal. We shake hands, making the wager official. He's gonna lose. Would Olivia Halford please come to the office? Would Olivia Halford please come to the office? Thank you. The monotone voice of the intercom, combined with the strange atmosphere of the school, was starting to unnerve me. We all look at the gator girl, who rolls her eyes and starts wheeling away from the table and towards the exit. After she'd left, everything felt more off. Lunch came to an end and the school day was close to the same. Just a couple more periods before we can hang out somewhere with all the extra free time. I look at Olivia's desk, still empty 5 minutes into Prockling's class. I mean, yeah, she hates his class the most, but it's really become a habit at this point. Just like how it's become a habit for me to write an extra set of notes for Olivia. I look at the 2 mostly blank pages in front of me. Like with our other teachers, I notice something's off with Prockling. She barely says anything, instead just asking us to read the chapter on the Great War. I do just as asked, and 5 pages in I can say without a shadow of a doubt that it was the stupidest reason for a world war to break out. A bunch of European countries unhappy with being ruled by a bunch of other European empires, deciding to revolt and dragging all their allies into the quagmire. I'm really struggling to make sense of the information, made worse with how outdated the textbooks are. Seriously, they're written so bad it ought to be a crime. It oozes pro-Gilded Age corporatism, the kind that genuinely believe that anything bigger than a gathering of 10 people is a form of unionism. With a sigh, I busy myself with taking notes for myself and Olivia. As I do, my eyes continue to wander the classroom. Everyone looks just as disinterested in the subject matter. I look over to Prockling, and she herself doesn't seem interested in the subject matter as well. In fact, she's just kind of staring off into space. It's hardly unusual considering how much emphasis she puts on proper class focus. Yet there she is, spacing out like she's no better than the teenagers she teaches on the daily. I'm almost tempted to raise my hand and ask her a question to snap her back to reality when the room's speaker comes to life. Would Incognito please report to the office? Incognito, please report to the office. Thank you. I look up to Miss Prockling. I got called, but she's still the arbiter of who leaves her class and when. But she doesn't meet my eyes at all. If anything, it looks like she's actively trying to avoid eye contact. I pack my things and shuffle out of the classroom, all the while the stares and murmurs of the other students grow more intense. My mind immediately begins to wander. Why am I being summoned to the office? They sure are calling up a lot of people. Maybe it's related to 2 weeks ago? The only thing keeping me company on the march to the principal's office is the sound of rubber soles and tile. They must spend a fortune on polishing these floors. It's not long before I notice another pair of footsteps coming from somewhere ahead of me. I squint my eyes, quickly recognizing the figure that approaches. It's Ben. I guess the student council repped at their meeting, though there's no sign of Liz anywhere. As the parasol makes his way closer, I notice he has a complicated expression on his face. Hey Ben, what's going on? He flinches as I call his name and looks around like a lost child before he spots me. We make eye contact for a few seconds, but he doesn't say anything. Everything alright, dude? Suddenly he turns away and continues down the hall. A sinking feeling takes hold of my chest. I almost try to speak up and stop him, but can't think of anything to say. I guess I'd better get going. Another minute of walking, I reach the door to the principal's office and find it wide open. Come on in. I need a quick drink. I step into the office and close the door behind me, following the source of the deep voice. I realize now that I've never seen the interior of the office before. It's fairly standard for an office. A long wooden desk, a filing cabinet, a few potted plants, and a couple of shelves for storing all sorts of things. However, on closer inspection, I notice a few things look a bit more disheveled than I expected. Manila folders are strewn across the desk. One of the filing cabinet drawers hangs open. The potted plants are either overwatered or wilting. Is this really Scalar's office? Mr. Nito. My attention is suddenly pulled away towards the hulking figure sitting behind the desk. I can only imagine what that office chair is going through right now. Sir, is everything all right? Have a seat, please. He motions to a small plastic chair on my side of the desk. How have you been, Inko? I oblige his request, taking a seat and trying to suppress my anxiety. I think I'm doing well. He nods to himself, holding his eyes closed. That's good to hear. The whale looks down at an open folder on his desk, taking a moment to look over some kind of document. I have news for you regarding your instructor for AP art design and photography. You mean Mr. Latican? Yes, Mr. Latican. A fine teacher, if student survey is anything to go by. He also spoke quite highly of you. Did you have a strong relationship with him? Yeah, I think so. Did something happen? My heart drops as Ferris's brows lowers ever so slightly. Suddenly his tone completely shifts into one more clinical. Over the last 2 years, Mr. Latican has been suffering from a rare form of chondrosarcoma that originated in his vertebrae. His tone is heavy. I don't quite know what ailment he just named. He should spit on the doctors responsible for discovering it, but the practice movements and worn-out features are undeniable. He's by no means a fragile man, but the tiredness he tries to hide is barely concealed. Every student he's broken the news to has taken something more from him. Tensing himself slightly to be as tactful as he can, the attempted reverence is lost as he recited script lines just a few too many times already. He can't muster much more than a flat citation. This analysis means nothing. I'm just distracting myself from the reality of the situation, as though prolonging a confirmation will keep it from happening. Mr. Ferris notices my subtle confusion and clarifies like he must have done a few dozen times already. Bone cancer. Mr. Latican was well advised by medical professionals about the treatment options available to him, and the district offered him a generous medical leave in recognition of his tenure here at St. Hammond. He turned both of these down. The cacophony of thoughts swirling in my head makes it nearly impossible to think, impossible to focus on anything. But now all I can do is revel in it. Time passes. I'm not sure how much, but I still can't get a grip on my own mind. Ferris is calmly waiting for me to say something, but I can't. But I can tell he's becoming uncomfortable. There's only one thing I can muster the will to ask. Why? The whale grimaces. I wish I had an answer. His inflection tells of his own questioning thoughts. The exchange seems to give Ferris the energy to continue, however. On Sunday, Mr. Latican was hospitalized due to complications with his illness. He passed away the following morning. Olivia was called here before me. Counselling will be available for you and anybody else affected. Sorry, do you know where Olivia went? No, she didn't say. I'd like to go now, Mr. Ferris. Yes, feel free. I stand up from the plastic chair, pushing it closer to the principal's desk. Offering one last nod to the superintendent, I let myself out of the office. As soon as the door clicks shut, I start running. Shit, where would she go? The studio room, maybe? It's the best lead I have. Thanks to all those gym classes, I'll have no trouble getting there quickly. My new destination takes me up the main staircase of the school and onto the second floor. It's not long before I'm staring down the hallway of Ladican's classroom. I breathe a sigh of relief as I spot Olivia sat in front of the door. God, what do I even say to her? My thoughts come crashing to a halt as I see another dinosaur beside her, gesturing maniacally. Ben? Oh, we don't like Ben anymore. From an outsider's view, it looks like Ben is trying to talk her into something. There's such a stark contrast between their moods. I suppose Ben is mourning too, but he's just handling it differently. That's the plan I have in mind. What do you think of it? Olivia? Yeah, okay. Olivia's reply came off weak and unfocused, like she wasn't talking to Ben at all. Can I count on you to be part of it? Sure. I remain obscured from view. This doesn't seem like a conversation I should intrude on. I'll just catch up to Olivia after. Honestly, I'm somewhat surprised Ben is talking to her. No. Maybe that Olivia is listening to Ben. But those differences are being put aside. For once, our priorities aligned. I had thought to come find Olivia too. I wonder. Ladican was a mentor to each of us. Like he'd always be around to help us, but now... all the little things that make you anxious or aggravated are gone in an instant. And all that's left is reality. Why bother with this dramatic garbage, if now's not the time to be brought together, and when? I'm thinking too much. My hands are shivering. Something in my heart threatens to fall apart, but not now. Her voice was too quiet for me to hear, but whatever she'd said wasn't what Ben wanted to hear. Olivia, I need to know you're with me on this. Yeah. Olivia? Ben kneels right next to Olivia's chair, putting the two at eye level, though she keeps hers averted to the side. I need to know that you're in on this fully. There's a strange panic in the Parasaur's voice. Please, Olivia, for him. Finally, after what felt like a few minutes, despite it only being 4 or 5 seconds, Olivia looks back at Ben's face and gives him a meek nod. I'm going to take that as a yes, then. The Gator girl gives no reply to Ben's words. The only sign that his words had registered in her mind were her hands suddenly, yet gently shaking, all the while her claws dug ever deeper into the wheelchair's armrests. The bulwark broke at last. Seeing the droplets from her eyes drives a searing pain through my chest. My instincts drove me forward beyond my common sense. I grip the blue boy's shoulder and pull him up. Ben. The Parasaur's eyes snap up towards me. He makes eye contact with me, a depressive expression coating his face. Inko? What are you doing here? I wanted to see Olivia. Olivia's silver eyes finally lift, and the pain reflected in them threatens to shatter my aching heart. Ben looks back to see those mournful eyes too, though his reaction seems the opposite to mine, as a smile draws across his face. What's with this guy? Inko, hear me out. I'm trying to organize a eulogy for Ladican. You know, say our goodbyes to him. He deserves it at least. Olivia, me, and you. He helped each of us so much, and... while the Parasaur rambles on, I turn my attention solely on Olivia. I push past Ben and take a knee next to Olivia, now eye level with her. Ben finally stops talking. I can feel his stare boring into the back of my head. He wants an answer for whatever he was just talking about. A eulogy for Mr. Ladican. It's so surreal to think about that. To think that I spoke to him only yesterday and today he's just gone. A eulogy. Yeah, it's the least we could do for Ladican as his pupils. He deserves so much more though. So much. Yeah, Olivia's probably feeling what I'm feeling right now. fight between reality and emotions. Vatican's gone. I'm still trying to process it, trying to accept the fact that I'll never see him again, or listen to him again, or get advice from him again. Never get to impress him or show him how much I've improved because of his lessons. I don't think I'm ready to accept that he's gone. Ben clears his throat, snapping me from my stupor and back to our current reality. I'm sorry to be so pushy, but I need to know if you and Olivia are in or not. Ben turns to look at Olivia as he says those words. Olivia, meanwhile, continues to stare absent-mindedly at the wall, almost as if Ben's words were not emanating from right next to her, but a few dozen miles away instead. I think a choice is coming up. Ben, I don't think... I suddenly feel a cool, scaled hand fall upon my own. I turn to look into Olivia's pain-stricken eyes. They gaze deeply into mine, pleading, begging to make the pain vanish. I don't quite know what I should do. Oh, damn it. Let me save real quick before, and I need to check the guide as well before deciding which choice it is. Because remember, we are going for option 4. Ending 4, I should say. And I do not want to screw this up. Okay. That's surprisingly easy to understand, that option. They've only just found out that their favourite teacher has passed. So it's fair to say that we're not ready to say goodbye. Can you give us some time, Ben? The student council's president, taken aback by my words. But Olivia. His frustration with her seems to grow with each second. Ben, look, No! I turn fully to Ben with my hands raised defensively. Ben, listen. We need to do this. For Vatican. For everyone that's cared about him. For us. So why won't you help me? We want to, Ben. Really. But can't you see that what you're asking for is way too soon? Damn it, we just found out. His breathing is haggard now, his composure completely blown. And his own pain is painted across his face as he allows his glasses to slide away from his puffy red eyes. Just... Ben. Her voice is so soft and gentle. Her head turns back to me, her own pain still in her eyes, but also sympathy too. She looks forward and her words are more resolute. Ben, I understand. The parasol boy's breathing hitches. You're right, we should do this, and I will. Promise I will, but it's too soon. We all need time. But he clenches his teeth, followed by his fists. He takes a sharp, uneven breath, his glasses sliding off his face and right into the floor. He's so agitated, so exasperated and devastated that he doesn't seem to care. My free hand finds itself on my other friend's shoulder, forming a full link between us. Olivia reaches down and picks up the prescription glasses, using her sleeve to smudge them cleanish. Ben struggles, his already broken composure fracturing further. I guess the only way he deals with grief is by giving himself a task, a job to do, and that way he can distance himself from the pain because it's just a piece of work, even if that work is a eulogy for a beloved teacher. I can understand that. I was lucky enough that when I was coming up, none of my teachers that I knew or cared about, none of them died, so this is not a pain I've ever had to deal with. Most of the teachers I had were terrible, but there was one or two of them that I could point to and say that's an example of a good teacher. That's someone who went the extra mile and someone worthy of respect and someone I appreciate as I've gone on through my life and whatnot. I guess the point of this little monologue is to say that we don't always realize what our teachers do for us, the good ones that is, until it's almost too late. So if you are lucky enough to have a good teacher who actually cares about teaching, cherish them. They're a resource you'll have for a period of time and then you'll lose them forever. His hands shake as he accepts the proffered eyewear from Olivia, having great difficulty sitting them back on straight. When he can finally look up from the floor, his eyes are even more raw with fresh pain. You promise? Olivia nods at the quivering question, her own lips starting to shake as well. Yes, but for now Ben finally gets it as his emotional dam is near to bursting. Yeah, you're right, sorry. Ben walks up to me and pats me on the shoulder. With a final solemn look at Olivia and nod towards me, he walks out of the classroom and leaves Olivia and I alone. As the door clicks closed behind me, I hear Olivia take a sharp and shuddery breath before turning to look at me. Her eyes are glossy and puffy on the edges. Trails of tears stain down her cheeks. And her expression is of someone who doesn't want to believe that it's true, but knows deep down that it is. As I look at her, I feel my emotions come back twice as hard. No, I need to be strong for her sake, damn it. Olivia, I try to find the proper words to say something to her. Anything that could give her any sense of comfort to ease her pain. But I feel my throat begin to tighten like someone's hand is around my neck. I don't even notice I'm crying until my vision becomes blurred with tears. Without thinking, I wrap my arms around the Baroness and pull her into a hug. Olivia seems shocked at first, frozen by my sudden reaction. I then feel a pair of arms wrap around me and hands clutching my jacket. Olivia begins to softly sob into my shoulders. I feel my own resolve break down as I hear the increasing pain in her cries. When we're like this, I can't even pretend to be the stronger one anymore. Maybe I could bear the pain of Latican, but seeing Olivia like this, I hold on tighter. I don't want to let her go. Suddenly she mumbles something into my shoulder. What was that? We pull apart and I look over Olivia. Her sunken face is covered in splotches and trails of wet and dry tears. She's hyperventilating and looks like an absolute mess right now. Despite this, her eyes are fierce and lively as they meet mine. I need to do something. Right now? She doesn't respond, hurriedly rolling down the hall towards the elevator. Where would she? The fountain. The only place she could be going. I step forward to follow her, but stop. No matter how I try, I can't continue. This is Olivia's promise, not mine. I have no right to intrude into it like that. My hesitancy robbed me of any choice in the matter. She went alone. I'm a fucking idiot. Alone in this freezing weather? While she's going through this? What the hell was I thinking? I start my silent march through the halls, out the building and into the frozen wilderness. It's cold out, freshly starting to snow. The world just feels so much smaller, muted and colourless. Now's not the time. I must find Olivia. There's thin tire tracks in the thinly laid on snow, pathing out down the sidewalk. I follow them. The path is serene, the falling flecks of white make it feel like one of Olivia's landscapes. The fountain must be just around the corner. Oh God. I should have gone with her. Of course the fountain is only accessible with stairs. The steps are tall and coated in a thin layer of ice. It's a death trap. Something rolls down and bumps my shoe. It's one of Olivia's handles. My face flashes with heat and my blood runs cold. Oh my God, I can't lose two people in one day. Please. I will myself to look up. 8 steps up, Olivia's wheelchair is toppled on its back. Seat ripped, wheels spread. It's unrecoverable. Olivia is 2 steps further. Halfway onto the next ledge, her arm reaches up for the next one. Olivia! Olivia stops and slowly looks back. It's a look of shock and humiliation at being seen like this. She turns back and starts pulling herself up to the next step. Damn it, Olivia. I take a step up and catch myself. It's a wonder she even got this far. But I find my balance and start marching up towards her. Her arm slips on the ledge and she falls back. I caught her in my arms from behind. I didn't make it. She looks up at me, eyes still filled with tears. I carefully set her down on one of the steps. She hides her face in her palms. I failed Ladican. Olivia chokes back a sob. Just a stupid fuck up. Fucking chair. And then she continues to weep. I sit there and stare for a moment, trying to figure out what to do. I really haven't ever been in a situation like this. Poor girl is shaking. Rather it's from the cold or her situation, I don't know. Instinctively I wrap my arms around her and pull her close to me. Olivia shifts her body accordingly and we end up in an embrace. Her sobbing calms down to just occasional hiccups, and her body is no longer sapping the heat from me either. Sorry, Inka. Sorry for what? Everything. Being an arsehole, being a failure, making you waste your time on me. I'm just awful. Don't say that, I love you. That's what I wanted to say. Now isn't the time. I'm your friend, you know that. I'm here for you in the same way you're here for me. Olivia breaks away from our hug. Her face is tear-stained, but she isn't crying anymore. She's looking down at her wheelchair. Do you have a spare at home? No. I stand up, look up the stairs towards the fountain, then back to Olivia. I can call Liz if you want. She can come pick us up after we're done. We can worry about your chair then. You're not a failure, Olivia. We're getting you to that fountain. I reach my hand down towards her. Olivia's confusion erodes into a soft smile as she stares at my hand and then back to me. Come lower. Let me grab your shoulder. I've done this a few times before. I lean in closer and Olivia pivots as best she can. Once more she uses her tail as an anchor in place of her legs. It's holding her up pretty well. Never considered it, but that tail must be pretty muscular. Let's go. I want to make Ladican proud. I climb up to the next step, planting my foot on solid ground. Olivia waits for me to stop before quickly moving her tail up to the next step as well. It's sort of like we're each one leg. Simple enough. It only now occurs to me how close we are right now. By close, I mean I'm practically cradling Olivia against my side. Up another step. Eventually we finally make it to the top. I manage to shuffle to the fountain. You can just put me down right here. Alright? I gently lower Olivia down and place her on the lip of the fountain. There's just enough space for her to sit along the edge, with one leg resting on top and the other hanging off. She looks into the still water in contemplation. My eyes follow hers, focusing in on the coins that have settled on the bottom of the fountain. They're hard to see through the opaque ice. I've stuffed my hands in my pockets for warmth, feeling the skin of my knuckles start to split already. My fingers trace over the quarters I'd usually use on our lunchtime drinks. The powerful sneeze draws me away from my meandering thoughts to see the gator girl quiver on the cold concrete seat. Damn it. Her jaw is clenched tight, baring her sharp teeth to the world. Her nostrils flare with each of her breaths, the hot air creating a puff of visible mist. and her eyes are filled to the brim with a fiery rage and salty tears. I want to break the silence between us. Ask for her thoughts. She's deep within them, though, raging within her own mind. Finally having the moment to process everything that's happened. In the end, it's Olivia that breaks the silence with a single, quiet, disdain-filled curse. Damn it. Her eyes shut, keeping her tears from falling. Damn it. A hiss seeps through her lips. I made it. Finally made it, but... The thought goes unfinished. She lets her shoulders down and turns her gaze away from the spouting water. Listlessly gazing towards the obscured afternoon sun that's just managing to peek through the clouds and snow-covered trees. Maybe she's imagining that's where he is now. But what now? I withdraw my hand from my pocket, holding it open for her to see the pocket change in my palm. Scanning over the water feature before us, I think back to all the times I wanted to do just this with someone else. How about we make a wish? Olivia's brow furrows as she glances off to the side. Her fingers grip her hoodie, and I watch as she considers my suggestion thoroughly. Sure, a wish sounds nice right now. I motion her forward. The gator girl holds her hand out to me and I drop a quarter into her palm. On 3? I nod in reply. 1, 2, 3. Wish for... My twin coins flip in the air together. I watch as the coins spin skyward, crashing into the falling snowflakes. At their apex, the coins seem to pause just to briefly touch one another. And with a synchronized plop, both quarters hit the water together. Leaning forward, I see that the coins even landed on the same side. Heads. Wonder if that'll double our chances of making our wish come true or something. I let out a huff in amusement from Olivia's comment. The more I think about it, the more I hope it does. We stay there, looking at the fountain together in silence. I gotta say, there's a lot of emotional impact in this game. I really do enjoy it. For a moment it feels as though time has stopped around us. It's just me and Olivia experiencing the moment together. It almost makes me forget what had just transpired, what we were dealing with, the kind of future the two of us were looking at. For this moment though, none of those dreadful thoughts mattered. What matters right now is finding a small bit of peace, of solace, a little bit of calm before the storm that was inevitably coming. A harsh wind chill finally brings Olivia and I out of our thoughts. I'm sorry for being super distant earlier. You don't have to apologize for that, Olivia. Everyone goes through these sorts of things differently. I know, but I just feel bad. I know I'm not the only one who's sad that Latican is gone, but... The pause makes me stop and turn around to face her. I can see it in her face that she's trying to form the right words. Latican was the first person who I felt was a role model for me. He didn't just believe in me, he made me believe in myself. Not just for my art, but being able to succeed in general. I knew that Latican meant a lot to her, but I never realized he meant that much to her. More than anything, he actually cared about me. About my thoughts and my dreams. I felt... Olivia's lips tremble as she struggles to voice the thought. Normal. I probably sound stupid saying that. I shake my head in disagreement. You don't. Mr. Latican was important to me as well. It's okay, Olivia. I know how you feel. He gave me some of the best advice I'd ever got from anyone and encouraged me to follow my dreams, like you. Wish I had met him sooner. There's a moment of silence between us, the air filled with a mix of sympathetic emotions. A shared sadness for the passing of someone who made an impact in both our lives, but a sense of thankfulness that he graced our lives. Guess we both got our issues, huh? Yeah, I guess so. Fresh breeze of icy air sends a shudder down my spine. So, what should we do now? I pat off the growing pile of snow off of my shoulders and head. Let's see. Look at my phone. School's ending in 10 minutes. Do you want to just chill here until then? No pun intended. Sure. I look around, noticing a tiny bench for two nestled against the tree. The gator girl must have noticed that she's already holding out her arms for me. I recall something, a certain pair of raptors. I kneel down, facing away from Olivia. I can feel the icy flakes melt off me as Olivia leans against me again. Her powerful arms wrap around my shoulders, clawed fingers digging into my jacket. My fingers lock together in a form of makeshift seat for her behind me. My passions are secured, I make a beeline for the bench, lest I get caught up in what I feel pressing into my back. She lets herself drop onto the bench, uncaring for her landing. I think that's the thumbnail right there. Taking a page from the book of Olivia, I also drop uncaringly next to her, just glad to have some shelter from the increasing snowfall. So here we are. Mission accomplished for Olivia. Now what? My curiosity compels me to ask Olivia something. If you don't mind me asking, what did you wish for? I don't think you can tell someone what you wish for, or else it won't come true. The superstitious side of myself says that she has a fair point, so I decide not to push her on it any further. Just curious is all. Continue relaxing in a comfortable silence. I mean, I don't mind telling you if you tell me yours. Look at that face. I love it. I guess that's only fair. What did I wish for just now? It's hard to put into words. It's not something specific, rather a feeling that I keep coming back to. Like before I came to this school, I would have wished for more friends or a successful future, or to take back something embarrassing from the past. But now I think about it, I didn't need to make a wish. That's too vague. No, but I don't know how else to put it. Come on, at least try. My best memories from the past few months. This being outside in the freezing cold? No, not that. What do you mean then? I struggle to find the words without making myself sound stupid. You know, we've hung out a lot together, but it's not often there's just the two of us. Just us? Yeah, that doesn't happen a lot. I wish it was like that more often. Veronix's eyes go wide. Shoot, maybe that come across too weird. I mean, I just want to get closer to you, you know? Watch the beginnings of a blush warm across Olivia's cheeks. Wait. I didn't mean it like that. I want to get to know you better. She glances away, laughing nervously as her tone changes drastically. Yeah, I understand, totally. Breathe a silent sigh of relief. You want to know what I wished for? If you don't want to share, you don't have to. No, I asked for yours, it's only right. I wished to know what I want to wish for. I glance across the bench towards her. I can't make a sense of anything right now. I want today to be over, frozen, and to have never happened all at once. I want Latikin back, but I don't want to just replace him with someone else. It's too late to start all over again. She stops to wipe her eyes, but they are already dry. All I've ever wanted was to be someone he would be proud of, but it just feels impossible. She looks away. I ended up picking something lame. Sorry. What's that? Olivia's still looking away, so while I can hear her hesitation, I can't tell what she's thinking. I threw that coin out of everything racing in my mind. The one thought that stuck out the most was just... She chews her lip in contemplation for a moment, and when she finally continues, her voice is a soft whisper. I want somebody I can trust. Look at him. I'm gonna take a drink. I feel my face heat up from her words and her tone. Even with her head turned, I noticed a red flush creeping over Olivia's face too. I instinctively jerked my head the other direction. Shoot, what do I do now? We're both sitting motionless, neither daring to say another word. If I listen closely, I feel like I can hear her heartbeat from here. She can probably hear mine as well. I don't even notice the cold anymore. Maybe we can just stay like this for a few weeks. No, don't be ridiculous. You need to tell her how you feel. I clear my throat, searching for words that wouldn't come. She just said she wanted somebody to trust. I mean, you can trust me. I hear shuffling from Olivia. I can't work up the nerve to turn my head towards her. My neck feels like a rusted hinge as I try to disobey my body and look at her through my periphery. Do you trust me? Despite my words, she nods her head vigorously, the blush growing dangerously bright. Well, I shift my body towards her on the bench. I trust you too. Suddenly she shakes her head a bit to bring herself back to reality. Maybe I can be honest with you then. You're silly, and you're ridiculous. Maybe a little over-optimistic. You're thoughtful and adventurous, and so willing to just take me with you. You don't treat me any differently for this stupid thing. She slightly hits the armrest of the bench. I guess I stopped noticing it at some point. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously you're like... So many words dance on the tip of my tongue. Like... My mouth and brain are at a standstill, one wanting to just blurt out whatever, while the other keeps it all in and disseminates it in a thoughtful manner. What comes out is... A furious snort rips from the Gator Girl's nose, followed by peals of laughter. Well, out of embarrassed shame, I cover my face with my hands. What was that? I curse my nerves as I try to protest her continued guttural guffaws. Come on, Olivia, I'm really trying. The snowflakes that manage to land on me melt away with the extreme heat radiating from my whole head. Olivia acquiesces, though, drawing back into just a very smug grin. Okay, take two, Inko. My head's temperature finally drops from core of the sun to a more manageable volcano. Thanks, jerk. Seeing that small quirk on her own lips, I can't stop a smile from growing on my face. I guess, be honest. With her and yourself. Honest. At the very start, I thought you were just out of it. What? You almost ran me over in the hallway. Oh. She frowns and looks away. Sorry. And then you tried to get my seat moved. Sorry. And the claw thing today? Not sorry about that. I figured. And used to be hard to talk to. I felt awkward every time I'd even try. Like, thank Raptor Jesus for Damien and Liz, because otherwise I wouldn't have got to know the real you. Olivia wrings her clawed fingers together. And what do you think of the real me? She's easily the most caring person I've ever known. I mean, yeah, she can be a little selfish and doesn't think ahead sometimes. When she cares for something, she just has to do everything she possibly can for whatever it is. Is that what you think? Yes. I think you're quite caring and passionate and what? And I know Mr. Latigan saw that in you too. Olivia's eyes water at the mention of our mentor. Thank you, Inko. Now's the time, Inko. Just say it. Hey, Inko? Say it, say it, say it, say it, say it. Do you like me? Yes. Oh, why does talking have to be so hard? I prepare for Livia's smug one-liner to crush my weak confession. Instead, I watch as Olivia brings her hood up and hides her eyes with it. Really? For some reason, seeing her like this fills me with a well of confidence. Yeah. Can I hear you say it? I like you, Olivia. I don't get how. The hood peels away just enough so that I can see her shimmering silver eyes. Why would you like someone like me? I like you too. Olivia brings her legs to her chest, holding the limbs tightly to her. She brings her hoodie's hem over her legs, transforming herself into a crocodile-shaped igloo. An ovaligloo? Oh, slippers was a bad idea. Oh crap, yeah, hey, you okay? Fine, just call someone. I cough awkwardly and get my phone out to call Liz. Hello, Inko? Is that you? I'm just supposed to be in class right now? Scale let Olivia and I out early. Oh, okay. I was told about Professor Latigan. I hope you're doing okay. Yeah, I'm alright. I'm with Olivia by that old park by the school. Her chair's busted and we're kinda stuck. There's a keening whine from the bond crocodile next to me, her tail wrapping around her as if to hug herself. Broke? In this weather? Are you two okay? We're fine. Can you come pick us up? Alright, I think I remember where it is. I'm with Principal Scaler right now. Once we're finished, I can get you two on the way home. Thanks. After some shuffling, the call drops. I turn back to Olivia. She seems more anxious than anything right now. You alright? Yeah, I'll be okay. The stovepipe maw of the Olivigloo chatters quietly in the cold. My concern finally takes hold, forcing me to finally close the gap between us. She said the chair had no replacement. It'll take a while for a new one to come in. That means she'll be trapped at home, completely sealed off from the outside. Beginning Olivia's annoyed protest die of exposure, becoming a grumbling acceptance as I wrap my arms around her shivering form. You're lucky you're warm, Inko. I just noticed she has little cat slippers on. Yeah, I definitely feel like it, as her body shifts and nestles closer to me. Olivia's tail lays on my lap, the shivers reverberating through it the most. I lay my palm atop it, feeling the cold limbs shaking slowly still. Some long-distance trivia about limbs losing heat the fastest springs to mind, and in the hopes of keeping frostbite away, I pet the heavy tail. As I do, I hear the silliest sound rumbling from Olivia's chest and through the rest of her. It's like a purring cat, almost. It's a new sensation on my cheek now. Soft and warm. They did. Yes. I love it. Oh, it's so cute. She's... Eh? Her lips are planted firmly on my cheek, and this feels nice. As I continue to warm her tail for her, I feel her warm lips press more and more against my cheek. I don't know if kisses are supposed to go on this long and be this wet. And now the lips are moving and some pointy things are there and... Munch. And that's her teeth. Yep. Olivia instantly lets go of my cheek from her non-lethal bite. Fuck, sorry, I'm new to this. I'm nervous. It's okay, really. I put my hand to my cheek to feel the damage. I feel the indent of her fangs, but nothing serious. I almost even start falling asleep before we hear a car pull up at the bottom of the hill. Olivia perks up and leans forward to try to see who it is. A few seconds later, Liz's head rises above the stairs, scanning like a submarine periscope. Crap, it's going to be tough getting all the way back down there, even with Liz's help. I look back and smile at Olivia, still huddled against herself and clinging to my arm. You ready? Today seemed to drag on endlessly. Liz's arrival had ended our embrace, and she had quite the dour look on her face. She said she'd been in a meeting with the principal, and I can only imagine how the faculty and student council were reacting to Latican's passing. Her mood seemed to lift a little, at least, when she saw Olivia and I both huddled together beneath a tree. Olivia's mood, on the other hand, plummeted. Probably from the way Liz and I had to carry her to the car. The ride to the Payne household had been silent save for Olivia's grumbling and embarrassment. I think I'd be in a similar mood if I was treated like a sack of potatoes, but then again, how else were we supposed to carry her? I should suggest more leg workouts to Coach Solly, just in case. Damien and Randy were waiting for us at the curb, the older man looking over Olivia with worry. When your friend told us, Soph and I were beside ourselves. I'm fine now, Randy, Randy didn't really hear her as the instant her car door popped open, the legal guardian pulled her up into one hell of a bear hug. Come on, I'll get you kids some hot cocoa. Damien watched on with a smile of relief as his father hauled her over his shoulder and marched into the house. You guys want to stick around? Vinny's still in school, so we don't have the console to ourselves. It's still pretty early, all things considered. Sure, I'd love some hot chocolate right now. Liz? I'd like to, really, but the council still needs to prepare the arrangements for Latican's. You know. Maybe I'll come by after if I can. Alright, well if you do, I'll make sure there's some cocoa left. Appreciate it. With that, Liz drives off down the street. Come on, let's head inside before we start turning into popsicles. Settling into the well-worn couch, I noticed a distinct lack of a Baronix. Where's Olivia? Randy chimes in from the kitchen, busying himself with an old-fashioned kettle. She wanted to rest on the bed for now, boys. Give her some time. No one can resist hot cocoa during weather like this, especially how I make it. Never had homebrewed hot chocolate, but if it's anything like his cooking, then it must be some good stuff. After a few minutes, Randy comes out with a tray. Here you guys go. He passes around a few Christmas-themed mugs labelled with the family's names, and leaves the last one atop a nearby drawer. You're gonna have to be Vinny for a bit. You cool with that? Yeah. Thanks, Randy. Man, you look cold. Were you out there long? That's true. By now the snow on my jacket's melted and my clothes are chilly and soaked. Feel free to take a load off until you warm up. I'll be in my bedroom resting. Holler if you need anything else. He gives Damien a pat on the back and leaves. The mug is hot to the touch, but it's a welcoming feeling to warm up my icy fingers. I I take a moment to gently blow air on the beverage to cool it down before moving it to my lips. Yeah, it's pretty good. Damien is chugging his. He finishes the swig and sets the glass down. There must have been half of it in one go. Well, there are multiple ways to enjoy anything. After today's events and weather, I really needed this. Another sip. It really is helping me warm up. I didn't even notice how cold I was. Hey, Vinny. Yeah? You good? I'm holding it together, yeah. Still a bit scattered. I don't blame you. Hey, Pops doesn't want you venturing back out into the tundra out there. You up for a game or something? He gestures to the entertainment setup. No, but go ahead. I'll watch. Damien thinks for a second, the few gears in his head turning in conflict. Really, I don't mind. Alright, I'll get set up. Alright, I can feel my voice going, so I'm going to call it there. We are going to wrap up the stream for now. So let me put that up. Let me turn that on. Let me save that again, even though I just saved it because I'm paranoid that I didn't actually save it. We'll go to main menu and we'll quit. I don't know why I'm narrating that. Anyways, the purpose of this stream was primarily a test just to see if with my degraded internet upload speeds, could I still stream in some capacity on YouTube as opposed to Twitch, because Twitch is not behaving. There were a couple of dips in the stream quality. Funnily enough, I think my router started overheating at one point, so I had to go into the fridge, grab a frozen meal, wrap it in a tea towel, and put the router on top of it. So that was part of one of the gaps in the stream. I have a hunch that frozen meal's now melted, but at least the router's not. Oh no, the router's still giving me the temperature warning, which is kind of annoying, but I wonder if that's partially to blame for the degraded performance, because it was doing double what it was. So the upload speed was double what it is right now, and then it dropped to like, I don't know, a tiny amount, and then I put a spare antenna onto it to boost the signal, and I've put the frozen meal under it to reduce the temperature, and it's still half of what it was, which is not great. But anyways, I'm rambling on, which I guess is fine because the stream is still catching up to what I was just talking about a few minutes ago. Anyways, I am going to wrap things up for now. I'll watch back the VOD later to see how the performance went. I think if it is basically acceptable, then I might have to move over to YouTube permanently for the streams, which is basically me starting over from scratch, because all of my community is over on Twitch. And I didn't announce this stream as well because it was just a test and I wasn't sure how well it would go. But anyways, I'm going to wrap things up for now. Thanks so much for anyone who popped into the stream, and for anyone who catches the VOD later. Hope you have a good day, afternoon, evening, or reincarnation event, depending on your circumstances. I'll be finishing this game off in the next stream, or maybe I'll be playing Half-Life 1. One of those two, because I want to finish both of those games off and then start fresh. And then it's Dying Light at some point as well. But anyways, I am going to wrap things up for now, so have a good day, afternoon, evening, or what have you. And if you see a very friendly gator girl, just say hello. It might be for you. Bye-bye. Thanks, Randy. Man, you look cold. Were you out there long? That's true. By now the snow on my jacket's melted and my clothes are chilly and soaked. Feel free to take a load off until you warm up. I'll be in my bedroom resting. Holler if you need anything else. He gives Damien a pat on the back and leaves. The mug is hot to the touch, but it's a welcoming feeling to warm up my icy fingers. I take a moment to gently blow air on the beverage to cool it down before moving it to my lips. Yeah, it's pretty good. Damien is chugging his. He finishes the swig and sets the glass down. There must have been half of it in one go. Well, there are multiple ways to enjoy anything. After today's events and weather, I really needed this. Another sip. It really is helping me warm up. I didn't even notice how cold I was. Hey, Vinny. Yeah? You good? I'm holding it together, yeah. Still a bit scattered. I don't blame you. Hey, Pops doesn't want you venturing back out to the tundra out there. You up for a game or something? He gestures to the entertainment setup. No, but go ahead. I'll watch. Damien thinks for a second, the few gears in his head turning in conflict. Really, I don't mind. Alright, I'll get set up. Alright, I can feel my voice going, so I'm going to call it there. We are going to wrap up the stream for now. So let me put that up. Let me turn that on. Let me save that again, even though I just saved it because I'm paranoid that I didn't actually save it.